Hello, Robert. My name is Wilbert T. Sass. The T stands for Ted. Robert, I'm a lifelong salesperson, and I want to take just a minute to go into introducing myself through the means of this, my YouTube live video. I received your response from my inquiry from your post at Rep Hunter, and I wanted to take this opportunity to employ sales 101, and that is to get attention. So I registered. Registered Carry Ware. Couldn't register Carry Ware because it was listed as a premium domain. I'm not sure whether you have that domain registered or not, but my attitude has always been I own about 300 some odd domain names that I work around on my online business that I operate from my home under my business internet business card, Exec.com. And basically, the way I look at the .coms in the sense of promoting and marketing and advertising your unique cell phone case that you wear, and that is also combined with the sports premium sports logos for the various consumers that choose those. The thing I've always looked at is if you're going to market it, if you're going to establish a brand, then why not take the whole United States in? Because it's easy to do if you look at it the way I look at things as far as how you're going to do this. Um, I've built a business plan that is designed to operate on a brand called Internet Zip Codes, and it's my way of catching attention to the fact that the consumers that I'm targeting are live in zip codes and they work in zip codes. Okay, it's very easy to organize a database on this basis because that's the way all lists are built among other methods and but the bottom line is zip codes is where all the customers live, and it just so happens that's where all the businesses are at too, so it makes it easy to sell them. Because you know right where they are and you can identify them very easily with easy data search. So by zip code and even by carrier route, which is important in my business plan. So the bottom line is with the type of product that you have, which is basically universal. Okay. In other words, everybody basically is carrying a cell phone today. So that means that everybody is a prospect to carry and wear your carry wear cell phone case, which they can spruce it up with their sports league sports team logo if they choose. I assume there's a universal option. Not for sure because I haven't talked to you yet, but just assuming that for those that don't necessarily want the sports logo. So the thing is, you have to, the way I look at it now, uh, I organized my business plan around a membership marketing advertising program that I branded MAMA, and MAMA stands for Marketing Advertising Membership Associates. And I have very unique principles that I carry out in the business plan that I put in writing for my members. But the overarching one is I return all the money that I take in back to the membership. So they have a marketing budget that's equivalent basically to any company in the country when it's developing as a marketing membership marketing advertising membership associates group. But for example, in one city in Omaha, there's a sales projection that I've made up that calls for 100 categorical approved members per zip code with 10 zip codes. And so that's a $500,000 advertising marketing budget that I enumerate with a budget of how that money is to be spent. And then I verify the spending of that money with CPA audits online, which is a way for me to provide full disclosure to the membership to validate the fact that my branded Boomerang membership income says that all the money comes back to them and it's verified by CPA audits online, with all the income being audited and all the expenses being audited according to the budget that I lay out in the plan. Now, this is very good for you because basically what happens is they provide the advertising budget for your carry wear cell phone case, because that's what they use to offer to customers to do business with them, rather than the other independent categorical businesses in their category, in their zip code, because I sell exclusives and I sell them on the principle that I created called business advertising by category. And I don't sell franchises because I'm targeting independent business owners that have the most motivation to become what I call a market share swinger. That's another brand.com that I have, market share swinger. So what they're able to do is, because of the unique offering of your cell phone carry wear cell phone case, they're able, through Progressive Savings Coupons, which is a brand which offers the customers for enduring loyalty awards, to continue to purchase on a 4 purchase cycle. And each time they complete a cycle, they, depending on how I set it up with your particular product, your particular cell phone case, carry wear, depending on the cost in that you would normally want to sell for in order to maintain your profit and cover your expenses, minus any commissions that you had planned to pay out. In other words, this is very beautiful for you because you can take your typical commission that you have decided that you need to put on top of your costs of getting the cell phone case manufactured and delivered. There's a certain expense involved there, and then you want to put your profit on it. And then, according to what I understand your business plan to be on Rep Hunter, you plan to pay a sales commission out on that. Well, my advice to you and my encouragement to you is that you don't pay that commission, because that just makes it more difficult to provide it as a premium advertising product that the approved business members under my program are able to then use to provide to their customers. And when they do, you get your costs plus you get your profit, because they use the discounts that they're offering to get new customers as an advertising expense. And that money then, and all of the money that's coming from the subscriptions to the from the approved members. For example, in Omaha, it's projected that my 50% advertising budget out of the total $500,000 coming in with 100 categorical members in each zip code and 10 zip codes, that's $500,000 at $30 a year and $9 a week. Okay, that works out to $500,000 a year just in Omaha. So that's $250,000 that would be available to promote the website, which would banner and would headline and would promote your carryware cell phone case as the premier marketing premium gift under enduring loyalty awards that only approved businesses in each zip code in each city would be able to offer. The rest of the businesses in those categories wouldn't have it to offer. Now you might say, "Well, that's I want everybody to offer it." Well, the thing is, if you look at it from the advertiser's standpoint, he wants to put himself in a position to affect his share of market in a way that he can't do the way he's operating today, because small businesses are not able to advertise. They don't have the top line. They're in the doghouse when they compare themselves to the franchise operators in their category that operate in their zip code or close by. So because they have all the money in the world, they're charging consumers up to a third more than they have to. I call it franchise price gouging. And the rest of the independent businesses in every community are using the franchise pricing model, menu model, whatever it is, as a standard. Unknowingly, or maybe knowingly, even, but still doing it, they're not gonna leave any money on the table when it comes to pricing. They're gonna price it competitive with the franchise category in their particular market. And when they do that, they are basically following the franchise price gouging business model because of the franchisee having bought a job to pay the the advertising percentage, the advertising. The franchise percentage fee, and that all comes off the top line. Plus, they're under the gun as far as being forced to pay exorbitant AAA rent location for the particular building that they're forced under contract to be able to have to lease. And all of that put together forces their menu price into a position of a third higher than their costs of operating that business, plus the profit that they're putting into it for themselves after having paid that 30 up to 30% to the franchise company. So you can see how the consumer and what has happened over the last 70 years. And I'm familiar with this because I bought 10 address franchises for the leading franchise in the world at the time, or if not the leading, one of the top three. And in Omaha, Nebraska, I bought 10 of them, and within a couple of years, I realized that the franchise business was not designed for the franchisee that I thought it was. And at that time in '69, I had 20 some years experience already in sales. Started out young, and so I wasn't really up to speed though on owning businesses. I That was the first real businesses that I had owned, and I've owned about seven or eight or nine since then. But a lot of that was based on what I learned from not being in the franchise business, because basically all you've done there is buy a job. And I know something about the franchise business and how they've set themselves up for the position of losing business, losing customers to my approved categorical business members. I subcategorize restaurants because there's so many of the different categories, and everybody knows everybody's not going to eat the same thing every day anyway. So, but the idea of progressive savings coupons, which I created, it motivates the customer to come back four times in a row, and each time they do, they get a bigger and bigger discount to apply to the carryware cell phone case, and either have a balance to pay on it, which gives them a terrific deal because the business owners that are going to provide them as the premium marketing advertising gift are not going to charge them any profit. They're just going to pass it through on the cost that you provide for them through my program, and which has your profit in it. See, you really don't care whether anybody else makes any profit on your product, do you? I mean, really? As long as your product gets in the hands of hundreds of thousands of consumers, and they like it, and if they want to buy more of them, they can, but as long as you make your profit, that's really what you're after, isn't it? You're really the reason why you're wanting to pay a commission out is because you want people to get out and sell your carry well. Well, selling it the way that product has to be sold. The first thing a lot of these people who I've been carrying a sales bag for decades. Okay, so I started out when I was 8 years old, knocking on doors in my hometown in Norfolk, Nebraska, where I grew up, selling boxed greeting cards. And I went into high school. I sold stainless steel cookware and fine china and cutlery to young working girls through high school. And I got out of high school and I immediately went to work for a national company, Royal McBee Typewriter Company in Omaha, Nebraska. and I went from there to another national consumer products company, and I went from there to a national health hospital equipment and supply company, Will Ross out of Milwaukee, and just continued on in my sales career. And then I started going into business, like I say, with the purchase of the 10 franchises in 1969. So this business plan that I have is unique in the sense that it does several things at a not only an effective plan, but also an efficient plan. Because the problem with trying to get new customers for a local independent business owner is to be able to use an advertising program that they can fit into their top line sales when they start out and have it be effective, and that is to grow their new customers, but at the same time being able to afford it. I mean, it doesn't do any good to advertise once or twice a year. That's like throwing the money out on the street. Okay, you have to advertise all the time. And with the money that's available through combining, I call it fungible benefits and fungible funding for a advertising program that promotes the website, called Internet Zip Codes, which means that anybody can find my approved uh, local independent business owners by their zip code in the city they're operating at, the address they're operating, and the ones that are offering you only and exclusively offering your carryware cell phone case. So I can discuss that further with you. I hope that's enough to whet your appetite. And I look forward to talking with you and doing some real good things for the future of your visionary product, carryware. Thank you.